Good morning. This is first class Concrete Technology and RCC Limited State Design for 5th semester PHE Civil Engineering students. First unit is Introduction to Concrete. This chapter includes definitions, ingredients and properties of the concrete, types of the concrete, factors affecting the strength of the concrete, importance and effect of water cement ratio, curing, different types and its importance, and concrete design mix concept, admixtures, important and types of admixtures. Concrete is a mixture of majorly 4 ingredients: cement, sand, aggregate and water. Sometimes admixtures are added as a 5th ingredient. For a specific purpose, specific admixtures are added. We will detail study in admixture later. Concrete is a Latin word which means to grow together. So concrete is a mixture of cement, which is a binding material, generally 10 to 15%. Water is a flux material which holds the all ingredients in a homogeneous form to form a uniform mass, that is concrete. Then sand, this is called fine aggregate, which passes through 2.75 mm sieve and retains on 75 micron sieve, is called sand. It is generally 30%. Then coarse aggregate. Generally we are using aggregate for concrete passing through 40 mm sieve and retain on 2.75 mm sieve. Then water, generally potable water is used, that is drinking water. The pH value is 6 to 7, which is free from organic, inorganic, salt, sugar, etc. All these mix in a designed proportion, forming a homogeneous green concrete which will be hardened after curing. Hydration of cement will take place. Heat will be liberated in concrete. So, to reduce the effect of heat, we are doing curing. We will study later on. So, this is the importance of concrete. Cement is a mainly binding material. Sand is a filling material. Aggregate is a strength material. Water is a flux material, and admixtures are added for specific requirements and specific reasons. Next, properties of cement. So, cement is basically a binding material. Fineness is the important properties of cement. Finer will be the particles of cement, more strength will be occurs. Plasticity is one of the important properties of cement. You know plasticity, rigidity and elasticity. So plasticity is the main property of the cement. Setting time, specific gravity, strength, these are the some properties of the cement. Properties of fine aggregate and coarse aggregate are almost similar. They are size and shape, texture, specific gravity, compressive strength, bulk density, bulking of sand, soundness, water absorption. Size and shape. Generally, rounded sand particles are flaky, irregular texture. Particles are more preferred for concrete. Irregular, rounded, angular, flaky, elongated aggregates are also available. Specific gravity is generally 2.6 to 2.8 for all the civil engineering materials. Bulk density is the weight of aggregate for unit volume. Bulking of sand, which increases the volume of this sand due to the presence of moisture content or water content. Usually 30% will be bulkages in considered for concrete design. Next, water absorption. So 1 to 5% of water absorption by weight is generally preferred. Soundness is the properties of aggregate, that is the resistance power of the aggregate for the wearing and tearing. Next, usually potable water is used for the concrete, which should be free from suspended particles, dissolved particles, acids, alkalis, algae, oil, inorganic materials, debris, salt, sugar. So, some standard tolerance values are given. Sodium and potassium should be less than 1000 ppm. Carbonates and bicarbonates should be 10,000 ppm. Chlorides, sulfuric anhydrides, calcium chloride, sodium iodate, sodium sulfate, sodium arsenate, sodium borate. This should be very low, less than 1 to 10%. Sodium sulfide is 100 ppm part per million. Sodium hydroxide 0.5% by weight. And the water should be free from salt, sugar, dissolved materials and organic materials, and its pH value should be less than 6. So as per the IS 456-2000, these are the some standard values for the potable water. Organic should be less than 2000 milligrams per liter. Inorganic material should be less than 3000 milligrams per liter. Sulfates 400 milligrams per liter. Chloride suspended material should be less than 2000 milligrams per liter. Next is importance of water added to the concrete, that is called water cement ratio. Water cement ratio is the ratio of the volume of water or weight of water to the volume of cement or weight of the cement used in the concrete. The strength of concrete is inversely proportional to the water cement ratio. To get the good quality of concrete, we have to add minimum percentage of water. Generally 30 to 35% is preferred to get the maximum quality of the concrete or strength of the concrete. See the graph which indicates if you use less water, we don't get more strength. If you use more water, we don't get high strength. At some particular point, we are getting high strength. That is called OMC, optimum moisture content. That is the percentage of water added to the concrete to get the strength and to get the consistency, to get the workability, So next is properties of fresh concrete and hard concrete. Fresh concrete means it is green concrete. Just mixed with water. Cement, sand, aggregate and water are mixed. That is called green concrete. After getting hardening, fully curing 28 days, the concrete will be settled and become hard. The strength of concrete goes on increasing with age. As the number of years getting older, the strength of concrete will be increases. That is called hard concrete. The properties of fresh concrete are workability, that is the consistency of the cement, that is the percentage of the water added to the concrete for good use of mixing, transporting, placing, compacting the concrete. That is called workability. It is done with the slump cone test. Next, segregation. Segregation means separation of aggregates from the concrete mass. Is called segregation. Next is bleeding. Bleeding is separation of water content with cement slurry. Is called bleeding. Next, consistency. Consistency means it is the ease of the concrete which will help to get the good quality of the concrete for mixing, placing, transporting and compacting the concrete in the formwork. Mobility, compactability. These are the properties of concrete which will help to ease the concrete from one place to one place, transporting the concrete. Compactability is the making the concrete free from voids, free from airs. Compact the concrete as thoroughly as possible with machines or with man or with vibrators, so that the void content in the concrete and air bubbles in the concrete should be reduced to get the density of the concrete will be more. That is, strength of the concrete will be more. Properties of hard concretes: strength, durability, impermeability, creep and shrinkage. Generally, the strength of the concrete will go on increasing with age. If the mixed design is correct, if the curing is correct, if the working is correct, then the strength will be goes on increasing. Depending upon the strength, durability is also increases. Next, impermeability means that is resistance to water. Permeability means seepage of water to the concrete mass. Impermeability means it is resistance to seepage of water. Creep is change in dimension of the concrete, change in shape and size of the concrete. This is because of cracks, shrinkages and freezing and thawing of the concrete mass. Freezing and thawing means becoming compacted and becoming elongated. This is called creep. Change in the size, shape of the concrete because of the liberation of stress and strain due to loading for long period. The stress and strains are induced in the concrete. Because of the induction of the stress and strain, some changes in shape and size of concrete will take place for long period after the long period, after the loading system, that is called creep. And shrinkage, it will because of the liberation of heat in concrete mass. When cement comes in contact with water, hydration of cement will take place. That is, 1 gram of cement will liberate 15 joules of heat after getting reaction. So because of liberation of heat, concrete will be shrink. Cracks will be developed in the concrete. So these are the important properties of fresh concrete and hard concrete.